So today we'll learn a little bit about Excel, and we will hopefully be able to produce a worksheet like this by the end of the day. So if you kind of remember what we talked about in class, we have these parameters that we have for each house, for which we're trying to figure out the investment, the total cost, total earning, and cumulative income. So each house, as you're about to buy it, you'll have to kind of get some kind of a loan from the bank, which will be your interest rate. You'll have to put certain amount of down payment. Usually you can take a loan which is 30 years long or 20 years long. So we'll assume you're taking a 30-year loan, which means 360 months. This is the price of the property. This is the tax on the property, association fee. So if it's a townhome, how much do you have to pay per month? The expected rent, insurance, and then if you do not want to take care of the home yourself, you could give it to a management company. We are making the assumption that the management company will take away 1 month of rent, and the monthly fee will be 89 for the rest of the months. And in terms of some expectations, which you can never be certain of, tax saving. So let us assume you save about $1,000 of tax. Rentless month. So certain months and you will not have renters as renters are moving in and out or the market is not that great. So let's assume that to be one. Annual cost of repair $1,000 and inflation 2% and investment return rate 5%. This we'll use later. But for now, these are numbers you have to give Excel or you'll have to have a feel for before you can figure out what your mortgage payment will be, what your costs will be, what your total earnings will be, annual income and whatnot. So we'll basically learn how to generate this. By the end of this tutorial, which will come in a couple of parts, I want you to be able to generate this exact template. So let's kind of go through each one of the steps, and hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you'll know how this should be done. Now, take a good look and look at each one of these items. That's what you will have to create at the end of the day. I'm going to show you how each one of these things were done, and hopefully that will be useful for you. All right, so how is this nice? Well, if you went into a certain website and you saw the price of the household was $30,000 or $300,000, and the tax on the property was, say, $4,000, as you're changing these parameters, it's telling you what your mortgage payment will be the first year and all that, so you're not having to redo the calculations every time. But what if the association fee was zero? Well, you can see how the numbers will change. So this will be very useful. All right, so the basic idea is you turn in a whole bunch of these parameter values. You have to type them in, and you will have written a code that will kind of calculate all these other numbers for you. All right, are we ready? All right, let's go. So if you have Excel and you open it, you could go for a new workbook. The reason it's called a workbook is because each one of these Excel files, you can have multiple sheets. So here's one sheet, you could add a second one, you could have a third one, and you could, it's almost like a book in that sense. That's why they call it a workbook. You could type anything you want. Each one of these cells have a name. So this cell would be called, say, A1 because it's under column A and row 1. This cell would be called B4. And as you can see up here, it tells you the name of the cell. So this is I6, all right? And you can type in the name of the different parameters.